Canada, and you can always call me Mo. We are live now. It's our new episode for Global Expat, and we have a very special guest with us today, Andrew. We
Hi
have.
everyone.
Would you like to introduce yourself, Andrew, to the
Yeah,
to everyone?
absolutely. Hi everyone. My name is Andrew Williams. I'm the founder of Remote Tribe. We are a digital nomad blog. We talk about visas, travel, decentralized lifestyle, multiple citizenships and residencies, and we help people travel the world, work remotely, and also optimize their tax and get digital nomad visas. And I'm very happy to be here, Mo, because as usual, we've got a few interesting subjects to talk about when it comes to residencies and passports looking forward.
Definitely. That's very interesting. So, where are you calling from, Andrew?
I'm currently in Portugal. I'm in Lisbon. The weather is not that great in Lisbon. I didn't remember to be that rainy, so it's been raining for almost a week nonstop. So an advice for my nomads: just try to come here from May onwards, or just go to Africa, go to Morocco or Egypt during the winter and the spring. Because yeah, Lisbon is definitely not a place, and Porto is even worse. I've heard during spring. It's great when it's sunny. So I'm calling from here. I'm going to be here for a few more weeks, and then we'll see.
That's amazing. I mean, you're never expecting what you're expecting, especially in the weather. It keeps changing all the time. You can just sun, and then it just turn around to be something else.
It
Last
is
time,
unstable. It is,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Last time we have called. You were in Tenerife, or I don't remember the
No, I
island.
think yeah, I was in Tenerife, but then we were supposed to have another edition in Morocco, but we
Okay.
didn't sync. Morocco is definitely way better, also for the surfer nomads and people who want to work from Morocco. There's some really nice places around Agadir if you want to escape for the winter. So it's a great place to be between December and March. I would say it's not too hot. The weather is perfect. It doesn't rain, and the waves are fantastic. So look into Agadir, Morocco.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think with the last things happening in the Schengen zone, where Bulgaria and Romania already joining the Schengen zone, there's no way to stay. You have to get out of Europe. So
Exactly.
so Morocco would be a very good destination beside Turkey, depending on where you would like to spend the winter, or
And
just
to
have.
be honest, I did meet a lot of Americans yeah, I did meet a lot of Americans and English people who were trying to get out of the Schengen zone in Morocco. So it is happening. And it's literally from Portugal, it's about an hour and a half flight. And I think from anywhere in Europe, it's about 4 hours maximum. So it's pretty close. And more to be honest, I was really surprised how much they developed Morocco. Like it's just booming. I see it as mini Dubai right now. I was in Marrakesh as well for a week, and they're building these super nice apartment complexes. The boulevards look fantastic. Everything is brand new. So I think Morocco has a really huge potential for property investment, and who knows, maybe for residency as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, actually, it will be the next big destinations for digital nomad and remote workers. It's very close to Europe. It have the similar
Exactly.
time zone like Spain, Portugal, and the UK and Ireland. So it's have a lot of things common, and they are not very far from Europe, which is huge.
Exactly, and I think you can live in really good conditions, especially in the big cities. They've got again new flats, like very nice designed, and you've got all everything you need with security guards and everything. Swimming pools. One thing I have to mention is the internet. You have to check. I mean, obviously the new flats have really good internet, but the co-working spaces you have to go for a co-working space because usually the flats by the seaside they do not have they have internet, but it's not very stable. So go for a co-working space or just go for one of the big cities like Agadir or Marrakesh, because those flats will have good internet.
What about the cost of living? I mean, how much your average spending for a couple of weeks?
So I can give you some pointers. So for example, to rent a flat in I would say around Agadir, it's about 300 euros for a month. The internet might not be great, so I've met people who are renting for 250 300 euros. So that's pretty decent. You can eat with anywhere between I would say $5 to $10 a day, even $15 max, I would say. So let's say between 5 and 15 in a restaurant per day. And then I would say in total, I would say maybe $1,000. So it's very similar to Thailand, maybe, or to the Philippines, or to Vietnam. I think it's cheaper, but it's definitely cheaper than Portugal. It's somewhere I would say between Portugal and Thailand, but 1,000 euros should be fine with accommodation. If you want to live into a more fancy place, obviously it's going to be more expensive. So a nice co-living, co-working in Tagazut, for example, where the surfing mecca is, will cost you somewhere around 600 or 700 euros per month. That's including breakfast, co-working, and co-living. And then you will pay probably another 500 for the food and maybe another 100 for the fun, for the surfing board and stuff like that. So I would say maybe 1,200 if you want to live in a like super nice place with a nice community.
No, that's
But
interesting.
it's still very decent compared to all the inflation we have everywhere in Europe, which is
Yeah,
makes prices go crazy.
that makes sense. Yeah, to have different alternatives or backups in different locations, which is one of
Yeah,
the things that
and
we
again,
love.
I see it. I see a lot of investment in Morocco. I mean, they build some fantastic neighborhoods from scratch. It reminds me of Dubai a bit. So we're going to talk about UAE in a bit anyway.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So we have a couple of changes that have happened during the last uh, couple of weeks in the especially the investment migration and the residency and citizenship all around the world. There is a very interesting new program that's coming into the GCC or the Gulf states, and it's happening in Qatar. You would like to share more information about this, or we can? Have you been to Qatar before?
No, I just changed planes there. Unfortunately, the airport is fantastic. I know they build a lot of great infrastructure, and there's a really high competition between Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar. And I know there is a new residency program. Basically, they just launched. I'm waiting for you to tell me more, but I know it will be about $70,000 the program. I don't know exactly the terms, so maybe we can talk about that and why. So, maybe we can talk the details of the program and also maybe why people should consider moving there, first of all.
That's you mentioned about a very important thing that there's a lot of competition between the Gulf state, which is the United Arab Emirates or Dubai, as everyone knows it, and there's Qatar, and then Saudi Arabia, and then Bahrain,
Hmm.
and even Oman. This is these countries are the Arab states. They have the same economic situation. They are mainly funded by oil, and they are trying to attract as much as not just investors. I mean. Dubai or the United Arab Emirates was the most famous place in the whole Middle East, or even the whole region, which is attracting a lot of wealthy individuals and people move in. But there is a lot of because they keep the changing the rules and regulation in the tax status, and the cost of living is getting more expensive day by day. So there's
Yep.
other countries trying to attract or
Get
come
a
up with
piece
new
of that
programs.
pie.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. If you think about in the last couple of weeks, there was something very famous called the UE Golden Visa, which can give you 10
Hmm.
years access to the country, unlimited 10 years access. And now they come up with this cheaper option, which is called the green, not the Golden Visa, but the green visa. It gives you 5 years access. It doesn't focus mainly on entrepreneurs or investors, but it's a way to have a 5 year solid access to Dubai or the United Arab Emirates, where you can have your investment or your properties or build. I mean, when you the normal visa they give is 2 years. You have to renew it each
Yeah.
2 years. So when you give it 5 years, that's a very interesting option. It would be
Hmm.
similar in other countries like the US or the UK, where you can have a plan. When you have 5 years in front of you, you'll be able to do
You
a
can
lot
plan.
and have the peace
Yeah.
of mind. What happened
And Mo, do
last?
you still have to? Sorry to interrupt. Do you
Yeah.
still have to create a company to get the 5-year visa, and then
Yes,
they'll give you the
yes,
residency?
yes,
It's the
yes.
same
It's you
system.
can buy property or create a company. There's
Okay.
other way to get in, but most of the first one is you just create a company, establish a company. You can pay for the license of 5 years, or you can buy property with in special price range, and you can get the 5 years, which is called green visa to the
Green
United Arab
visa.
Emirates or Dubai. Yeah. What happened
Great.
in the last week? There's something that just a couple of days ago that Qatar, which is the neighbor of the United Arab Emirates, which have the capital is Doha. is come up with a 5 year entrepreneur residency program. It's starting from 68K USD. It's
Hmm.
exactly 250K Qatar reals. If you converted them to the US, will be 68-ish USD. That's
Correct. And
yes,
they call it the entrepreneur residency program, right?
yes, because it's not for everyone. It's a 5 year residence permit program tailored especially for highly skilled professionals and entrepreneurs. Okay,
Hmm.
the
And from
program
what
has
I know, you have to be part of, you have to go into this Qatar accelerator, like a fintech accelerator or something like
it,
that,
it's
to be able
called
to
Qatar.
actually.
Yes, yes, they have it's like they have their own Y Combinator. It's called Qatar Science
Hmm.
Technology Park at a place
Okay.
called or that's for the if you are creating any businesses related to science, technology, or oil or gas or anything related to this, or Qatar FinTech Hub if you are having a business that would be investing in blockchain, cryptocurrency, fintechs, new mobile banking operation or anything. That's the two
Hmm.
sector they would like to
Okay.
attract. And the
So.
first is you have to take a stamp of approval from the Qatari government body. So it's not for everyone. It's not that I have a business. This business is doing a lot of business online. I would like to move my business from the US or Canada or UK, wherever, and move to Qatar, and because it's tax free, and get this
Yeah.
5 year residence. No, you have to get the if your program is being approved, you have to go through an approval like a process, and then once you approved, you will be able to go into the second phase and
So
apply
they, yeah.
for the application.
So they do filter the candidates first. You have to go through a selection phase, and then you will have to apply. And more, I guess you have to bring your own money with the company to go into the program. So you have to pay to be in. You have to pay the 68K, right? Is that
Yes,
how it
yes,
works? Okay.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing. But they have a footnote that applicants must easier have a confirmed their other way, that you can if you are having a job that's high skilled paid job employment agreement with Qatari company that would like to pay you a minimum of
Mm-hmm.
10K. That's during the conversion process. If you are
Yeah.
already in Qatar and you would like to switch your current employment visa to this highly skilled 5 years, you can get a notice from the company and then switch. So you
Uh-huh.
could be. I think they are trying to push people to start companies that
St-
already be in Qatar. That's one thing.
yes. Yeah.
And the other option that people, I mean, entrepreneurs and investors would like to get into the Middle East region because the Middle East is very hot now. There is a lot of money and investment
Correct.
and venture capital
Correct.
and a lot. So they're trying to cap into that. That's it happening in other neighbors, especially in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and trying to attract them and start business. But what I can tell you from my experience is that this is like they are testing water. I mean, normally Qatar is a very it's a very open economy, but they are not allow anyone to stay in the country. They are very selective on who can give they can give approval to people to stay in the country. So they're trying to come up with new programs, and I think that we will see more like the golden visa, the property investment, the entrepreneurs, because they still have this zero tax. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a fantastic climate during the winter. They have amazing infrastructure. You have been to the airport. They have one of the biggest airport in the world. They have Qatar Airways. They are a very well connected country to everywhere. If you are flying to whatever from Europe or the US, you can fly to Doha, and from
Definitely.
Doha to Asia and everywhere. So it's a very attractive place. It's very safe. It's not as cheap. It's on the other because the cost of living in Doha is high. But if you get out of Doha and there is a surrounding cities, the cost of living will be, you can say, comparable to other places. And
Hmm.
I've seen that other Arab states or Gulf states would like to come up with a different program to attract investors and entrepreneurs and remote workers, not just traditional remote workers, but people who can afford to invest in business or come up with the different ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing I don't think there will be a remote worker visa anytime soon or additional nomad visa because they're really aiming for the top end, high end I
You never know.
you
It's
never
like,
know.
I mean, the digital nomad. I mean, I was never expected that Japan, for example, would come up with a digital nomad visa, and it's like everyone is applying for it now. It's like it's a very hot destination. The cost of living is good. The people are very welcoming. It's a totally different culture. It's not like Thailand or Vietnam or, for example, Morocco or Turkey. It was a closed country, and if you can spend there more than 6 months, you will get a lot of mindset change, and you will. I
Correct.
mean, yeah, it will be like a lifetime changing opportunity. But I think there's more countries will come up with digital nomad visa. They might call it. They don't have to call them a digital nomad visa. They can call them remote worker or elite
Yeah.
visa or
Like
whatever.
Dubai, right?
Yes,
Like
but they
Dubai, for
have
example.
they will be selective. They will be
Mhm.
selective or amount of money. I mean, you need to support yourself. At the end of the day, you're putting money. You are a long-term tourist. If you're
Correct.
thinking about creating a base in the GCC, like in Dubai or Saudi Arabia or Qatar, this is the best three countries. It you can use them. You can benefit from the lowest tax, and you can benefit of a high quality of life, and you can use it to get into other low-cost countries or low-cost destination and start your global lifestyle.
Correct, but more one problem I see with the long-term visa for digital nomads is that first, I mean, you do have to spend time in the country. So if you travel in a few other countries, I think you might lose the residency or the tax benefits if you don't live in Dubai, for example, for 3 months. Is that true? So I don't know how that would work.
I mean, the immigration policies mainly in the Gulf is very flexible. It's depending on what is your plan. You would like to get the visa just to use it to stay in the country, or actually would like to create like you can have a long term property, and you can
Yeah.
stay in the property or leave. It's depending on your short term and long term goals. I mean,
Hmm.
Dubai doesn't, for example, in the UAE, they don't count you how many days you are in, but at least you need to visit it 6 months. Okay.
Okay, that's actually pretty good for nomads. I mean,
Just
yeah,
one
that's
day.
great.
Just one day. If you're passing through
You
the
can,
airport, that will be considered one day.
yeah,
Yeah.
or you can just stop there to chill for like a week or something between east and west, and then just move on to your next destination. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
yes,
good one.
yes, yes.
That's a good one.
I think Qatar will be also very flexible. I mean, the border force guys or the guys at the airport, they can ask silly questions. I mean, but you have to be prepared what the country
Hmm.
is looking out of the program. If you have a bank account or a company or you're investing in the country and all your money goes through the banking account and you have an address, it doesn't have to be full-time address. You can using address for someone else and tell this is my full-time address in the country. That's enough. You don't have actually to stick in the country all the time. I mean nowadays countries have they understand that people travel and go. They will not stick into they are not following all the old rule that 9 to 5 you have to stay in the place
Correct.
all the time to do
They're
everything.
trying
So
to tap in as much as they can in those 3 6 months a
yes.
year. Yes, exactly.
Yes, yes. It's like
Yeah.
even in the UAE or Dubai, they have now 4 days work. So they are coming up with a similar policies like happening in the US, or the UK, or Europe. So they are adopting the similar mindset of work policies
The
and
global
open and
mindset. I know
remote.
they also,
Yes, yes.
yeah, they changed the working week from from Sunday to Friday as well. They changed it to from Monday to Friday, from what I
Yes,
heard.
yes, that was
So,
expecting to have a similar calendar, because most of the workforce are expats from West, and it's very hard for them to change the time dates because that will be the similar weekend days like their home countries and the businesses they do. So it
correct.
was an advanced way to do it. It's not because most actually uh, the the people live in the UAE, they are expats, so they are very familiar with the normal Monday to Friday. But
Routine,
now
yeah.
they have 4 days, just from Monday to Thursday. Some of the companies, not 100%, it's not utilized as a
Oh,
law,
so they're doing the
but
4 day week experiment as well.
yes, yes, yes. It's not actually explained. There's many companies they tell you that you can work from Monday to Thursday, and Friday could be you can work remotely.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're trying to
Similar to the
trying to
Netherlands
adjust,
then.
or half a day. Or Friday could be half a day. That's
Hmm.
it's. I mean, when you change something that you have been, especially in culture changing, when you have been doing something for a long term time, and then you try change it. It takes time until the people
Yeah, yeah,
adapt
yeah.
to the new changes. Yeah.
It's like trying to to change the way people sit on the escalator in London from right to left. It's impossible.
Yes. Yes.
It's so
Something like
funny.
this. Yeah. Yes. It's very definitely. Yeah.
Gr- Great. Okay, so it sounds like a relatively small investment. So will you get the visa, the residency as soon as you join the program, or how does it work after you? Let's say you've been accepted.
Yeah, once you've been accepted, I mean, still it's a relevant new program, so
Hmm.
it's not clear because they have been released. Whatever I mean, it will be renewable or no, and when you can
Yeah,
start the process. I think you have to do through, like, once you are approved for the program, you have to go to medical, something called medical check,
examination. Yeah,
that medical
yeah.
examination, and then you obtain something called Qatari identity card to complete the process. It's similar to the Emirates identity card, or like a card that will be your resident visa. Will be, say,
Hmm.
the starting from the five years process, what you can allow, and you can use it to enter the country using
And do
with
you know
your
if you can
passport.
live? And do you know if you have to be in the country for at least 3 months or 6 months to keep the residency? Did they release any?
There's no such information available right now. Once
Okay.
once it's once it's there, we can have a follow up. But it's still a relevant new program. I don't think that anyone have applied yet, but it's a
Hmm.
very attractive. And this is the point that the more countries are open to welcome entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
investors,
I
and
mean,
remote
I
workers. Yeah.
think it's worth mentioning that Saudi Arabia has five types of visa right now, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Six
yeah.
maybe or seven.
Yeah, mostly Saudi Arabia is open to. I mean, they copy everything in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, and they are come even a more aggressive plan to give almost anyone like a visa on arrival. Anyone who would like to visit the country or could stay. The infrastructure of the country is very well maintained. They have a fantastic internet speeds. Even the people now are accepting that there is a lot of foreigners who come to work and do business. They can give you a lot of incentives if you would like to open a business there or move from other place, because the country is opening up for different. I'm sure you have seen about this amazing project that they come up, that something called
They
the
have quite
line.
a
That
few. They've got quite a
Yes.
few projects, and some of them are already in build, which is fantastic.
Yes, so they are, I mean,
Mhm.
if you are into real estate or designing or fashion and media, there's huge opportunities to do business actually in the country, not just to reside there as a remote worker.
Correct.
So there is a lot
There is
of
a
tech
lot of
opportunities.
innovation. Yeah, so
Yes,
I've
yes.
actually I've seen a documentary recently. Unfortunately, I haven't been there yet, but I've seen a documentary about the design they're doing, the construction, the infrastructure projects that are fantastic. New airports, new roads. It's developing very fast, honestly. So just keep an eye on that. It's going to be a really interesting place to be. I think they're also opening up more as a society. They're trying to open up some Western values. I know now that you can drink alcohol in some places. You can live in a I think you can live together with a woman if you're not married, so you don't have to be married to live in a hotel anymore like before. So things are changing very fast. They're opening up a lot of so to say, I don't know, like taboo subjects that they were there so far for us, at least in the West. And
They, they,
it's yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to come up with a more flexible way of approaching foreigners and expats. I mean, they're trying to create hotspots
Mhm.
that this will be an expat friendly zone. It's still we are a very traditional country. That's fine, but this kind of new initiative or new, like, districts that people will be mixed. There's new cultures. I mean, there will be a lot of co-working spaces and even co-living spaces and different ways of investment that come up to open the country. And they try to come up with something that they still have the tradition in the same way, but at the same time they are accepting and welcoming, because it's actually a fascinating country. I mean, the idea that Saudi Arabia is it's a closed country. This is was like it's like I have many friends who have been traveling to Iran, for example, And the idea, especially in the US and UK, when you hear about Iran, this is a very close country. They, a lot of problems. Don't go there. They will, a lot of troubles happen to you. But actually, if you get in touch with the people and you see how is amazing everything, it's like Morocco 20 years ago or Turkey.
Hmm.
I mean, Turkey like 25 years ago, it was a no-go zone for everyone. Don't go to Turkey. It's like nowadays everyone goes to Turkey. So the
Correct.
country is rebranding themselves and they're copying from others. They're trying to mix between, because Saudi Arabia is not as small as Dubai or the UAE. It's a huge country. It's have
Correct.
it's up from the north in Jordan and down to Yemen. So it's a country and have a different climate and different weather and fantastic cuisine. So it could be mixed between Morocco, Turkey, and Iran. And
And obviously,
yeah.
I mean, we're expecting probably to become a more important travel hub in between the worlds, just like UAE was years ago. I mean, it still is, but it seems like they lost some terrain to Qatar now, which is, with the new airport in Doha and the World Championship, they kind of took over the face. And then it could be that Saudi Arabia is the next international hub for flights. So why not? But Mo, is there, in terms of like living in Saudi, I've heard it's quite difficult because of the heat and other things. But do you think it's only about Riyadh, or do you know any other? Do you have you heard about any other cities where one could live and enjoy life?
The huge project, it's still under development. It's called, there's like a city, not just in one
Hmm.
location. It's connecting different locations. It will be on the other side, Riyadh in the middle of the
Hmm.
desert, but it will be in the Red
Okay.
Sea, between Egypt and
Okay.
Saudi Arabia and Israel. There will be like an area called Neom, Neom.
Interesting.
Yeah, this
Okay.
NEOM will cover a lot of places, and there is a lot of, you can say, um, uh, futuristic cities. They try to build cities on the sea. They're trying to come up with AI cities. I mean, there is a lot of, you can say, outside the world ideas, and they try
I love that.
yeah,
I
this zone or neom will be connected into actually a couple of countries. It will be connected between Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. So it will be like visa-free access country to everyone, and there will be airports and access. It's already under development. If you can just Google
Unbelievable.
NEOM, it's called
We'll
Neom.
leave. I found it already. I'm going to leave a link in the description for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a very it's a in a couple of years from now. We can leave this video for the future, but a couple of years now, that will be a very attractive hotspot, not just
We'll
for
do a
remote
show from
workers.
there, Mo.
Yes,
We'll
you never know. Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah, 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 for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, guys. Just have a look. I think people have no idea how much things are changing in Asia and in the Middle East. It's really impressive. I think there's also a lot of information which is censored. To be honest, I don't think we have to know. I mean, I was in Qatar, and I've seen the technology, and I've got friends who travel in that part of the world, and they're absolutely shocked in a good way by the quality and the innovation that's happening there. So give it a chance and keep an eye on that, because that could be the next hotspot to live in the next 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, totally agree.
Awesome. Also, that's interesting. I think we touched on a few topics already. I think the next one that we had on the list, which is also quite a big announcement, is the one from Greece. So we discussed in another show that Greece has one of the best golden visas in the world, and probably one of the cheapest. If I mean, at least for Europe, is quite cheap. So the entry level was 250,000 for buying a property, and now it seems the news is that the Greek government is discussing raising the bar to 800,000 for some of the cities, some of the islands which are very popular, and they have a lot of inhabitants. So that's islands like Mykonos, Santorini, Thessaloniki, and so on and so forth, and 400,000 for other regions of Greece. So, what can you tell us about this change? Do you have any kind of inside information? Can you give us a few details?
I mean, if it was as expected, I don't want to say that I was I was
I
reading
told you
the
so.
yes, I told you so before, but I mean, it's exactly the same thing happened in Portugal and other countries. I mean, when the country opened up to attracting investors and entrepreneurs, and then they are over flooded by application, the local people or the local communities are fed up because all the prices, especially in the real estate, is going up,
I
and the
can
government
confirm,
have to do
Mo.
something. Yeah,
Sorry to intervene. I have to confirm. I'm here in Lisbon. I can tell you that the price for a flat and even a room has is over 1,000 euros in most of the
yeah,
cases. So if you wanna
yeah.
go in a small co-living place, it's about 700 euros in Lisbon. That's quite expensive. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that a few years ago. You hear a lot of expats. There's a big difference between expats and digital nomads. People don't know the difference probably, but the expats are here to stay. They brought a lot of money from the outside, and you can see that in the price of the real estate. And I think that going out and just services are still pretty affordable. I would say like 10, 15, 20 euros for a meal. It's pretty okay, but the real estate price has gone up, and I guess the locals are suffering. So yes, I think the Greek guys are doing the smart move, because otherwise it's going to get really expensive.
That's the thing. That's what's happening. I've been in Lisbon from 2010. I was able to renting a fancy apartment for 200, 300 euros per month. That's before the flock of the digital nomads
Exactly.
and remote
Yeah.
workers. So that the prices keeps up. What's happening in Greece is similar to what's happening in Portugal, that they come up with a different plan. I mean, they will say that in the very famous areas, places like in Athens, in Centauri, Mykonos, all
Hmm.
these regions, the minimum way to invest is 800 k euros, which is
Yeah.
moving from 250 to 800. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot
Absolutely.
of
Yeah.
property cost. That could inflate all the. I mean, everyone have a property 600, 700, or six, or even 500. They would try to come up to make it hit. But I think the government is trying to say that this will be for the development of new projects. If you
Hmm.
it will be targeting the, you can say, the wealthy individuals, not just the high wealth, but ultra high net worth individuals. 800 k euros, that would be similar to getting a citizenship in Malta, so
Yeah.
or other places. So they're trying
But let's not
to.
forget more. There is also a tier for 400k, which is probably for smaller cities in the towns on the continent, and not necessarily in the famous island. So that's I would say it's affordable for someone who has a high net worth value. There is also an exception from what I read. You can still buy a property for 250,000 euros, but it has to be converted, or you have to convert that thing from a commercial to residential. And also, you cannot rent these. I don't think you can rent them on Airbnb or Booking. So they have to be. Yeah. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's interesting concept. If you look up the you can go up to, you can go as low as 250, but there is a lot of offices that have been vacant everywhere. And if you take a
Correct.
commercial property or office block and you convert it to residential property, you can still get into 250. That could be like
Yeah.
the scape or the gray zone or gray area where I think developers, I know personally a lot of friends developer that acquire a lot of properties in Greece and Athens, and they do redevelop them into the Airbnbs and investment into the golden
Hmm.
visa. Now they have come up with a new plan, because there's a lot. I mean, mostly the number one investors that get into the golden visa in Greece is from Chinese, and
Hmm.
they are using that as access to the whole Schengen. There's a lot of people
Schengen
from the Middle
area.
East,
Yeah.
Africa. I mean, anyone who not have a passport that will not allow them to travel visa-free access to the Schengen zone, that will be like their golden ticket to Europe. So
Yeah.
what is happening now in Greece? They have. I think two things will happen. It could be fire back. Could be say that the amount of investment will go down, and the government will say, okay, we lost a lot of money. There is a lot of
Hmm.
developers who are not happy, and we have not fixed the problem. So let's lower it back to like
Yeah.
500, because 800 is a lot. They can get back to 400 or 800, or sorry, or
Yeah.
500, or they can come up with something new. They come up to say, okay, you can buy the property even for 250, but you have to live in the property. I mean, the,
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the inflation is come up with you when you get a property and you put it in the high rent market, the Airbnbs or the other platforms, that create a lot of inflation. So the local people will not be
Correct.
able to access it. So they might
Yeah.
come up with the different plans. We will see. It's a very interesting concept, but I think the numbers of people who will be interested in getting the golden visa now will be dropped sharply after the changes in the Greece,
Yeah,
and this has happened everywhere.
that
Yeah.
That's expected, yeah, but it is true that there is a restriction on the property, as you're saying. So from what I've read in the news, you cannot place. So if you want to keep your visa, you cannot place these properties on platforms like Airbnb or Booking, because that's speculation in the market. And as you're saying, they want to avoid overpricing local people who want to go on holiday or whatever. So then apparently, if you do that, you will get a fine, and also I think they will cancel your visa. So just be careful. I guess at least you can either keep it vacant or leave there for a period of time, or there are other ways. But there's a punishment for doing that. So you might be losing the whole program if they catch you. So just pay attention to that, because
Yes,
it is not
definitely.
allowed. Yeah,
Totally
absolutely.
agree. Totally agree. Yeah, yeah. And
Awesome.
this is happening
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Greek golden visa has been really popular. I think we discussed about that. There is probably one of the it's I think by far the most successful golden visa program in Europe and maybe in the world. Yeah, quite a few factors to that: the real estate opportunities, the beauty of the country, friendly people, extremely peaceful, so on and so forth. So, not surprised is that it's still a low key country. I don't know if you have the golden visa, do you get taxed for your foreign income more? If you get a residency there, do you
Where
know?
I think
In
as
Greece. So
what?
if 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 you get the golden visa in Greece and you get the residency, will you be taxed for income from the outside Greece?
I mean, it's totally different situation. It's depending on you have to understand. There's a difference between residency and tax
Yeah.
residency.
Okay.
You can get the golden visa and you can buy the property, but you actually not reside. You're not into the Greece taxation system. That's one
No,
thing.
I understand. Okay, fair enough. However, if you
Yes.
live more in the country more than 6 months, will they have the option to tell you that now you have to start paying taxes in Greece, or that's not the case for this kind of visa?
I don't have this kind of information right now. It have to be gone through case by case. But this is one of the
Yeah.
things that we need to understand, that you can be residing in a country, and the country will not be taxed you at the global income. They can tax you
Hmm.
only on the money that you bring into the Greece. Okay,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Spain for the digital nomad visa, you'll have to pay a reduced tax for, I think, instead of 48%, you'll have to pay 20% even on foreign income. So that's some information I have. So I think after 6 months of living in Greece, in Spain, because the visa will be available for 5 years, between 1 and 5 years. So you will have to pay some tax for the foreign income in Spain, even as a digital nomad. Then yeah, on
If
that
you if
digital
you
nomad visa.
if you compare the taxation system in Spain to Greece, Spain is much more restricted country
I know, I know, I
in
know. Yeah.
income of taxes. I mean, they don't have this way. I mean, there's a lot of people who are Spanish, and it's a fantastic country, but they actually leave the country. They say bye bye. I don't want to pay any taxes anymore, because they are a very closed
It is extremely
taxation
burdened
system.
with tax.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it
yes.
is
It's like
extremely
the UK.
socialist.
It's like the
Yeah.
UK in general, but Greece, they are very flexible. I mean, even the citizens, they have most. It's not just loopholes, but there's a lot of ways to reduce your taxes compared to Spain, which is very restricted. So
Correct.
that's one of the things that's an advice for anyone who would like to get into the Spanish gold the remote working visa or digital nomad visas, where you can get into the country, but you have to make sure what kind of tax implications that happen to you. If you're escaping high tax country like in Germany, in the UK, US or Canada, Australia, make sure that when you try to go to destination, they will not tax you on your worldwide income. And we
Correct.
can
That's
discuss
very
this
important.
in another episode, another show, how to
That would be an
differentiate
interesting.
between the taxes. But you have to
That would be
be
an
very
interesting
careful. Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So definitely, if you're gonna apply for the Spain digital nomad visa, keep into consideration that you will be taxed for foreign income as well, and you want to plan for that. No matter where you're coming from, just make sure that you kind of align and you have a plan for both your home residency or like tax residency and also the new country where you're going to be working for a while.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Totally agree.
Mo, thanks a
Totally.
lot. It's been great. Unless you wanna add something, I think we can close it off here.
No, I think I mean if you have any questions or comments or would like to we discuss a different topic, you can leave it in the comments, whatever in Android platforms or my platforms, and we're happy to discuss any other even topics that no one would like to discuss. We're getting into different ideas and different sources, but we always welcome to get in touch back to you.
Absolutely. Please, guys, we're gonna leave some links in the description with the projects from Saudi Arabia, the visas, so on and so forth, and also the details to our platform. Just get in touch. We're happy to help, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, always stay global, my friends. Take care. Bye
Stay
bye.
global, guys. Bye.